Hi Libras, this is Kathy. Welcome to my channel, Kathy Mamelin, Psychic Medium. Welcome to a love reading for my Sun, Moon, Rising in Venus, and any cross watchers, welcome. Today we're going to ask our spirit guides and our angel about the person on your mind. What is going on in this connection? Where are we headed? What does spirit have for you? What is your person's intentions? Any evidence that spirit wants to share with me in connection to this relationship? If you have found this reading, there is probably going to be a message here for you. There's no coincidence that you were drawn to this reading today. So sit back and relax. Let's see what your spirit guides have for you. Welcome back, everybody. Welcome to anybody that's new. Spirit, I call upon you. Person on our mind, where are we headed? What is happening around this connection? What is best for my future self, higher self? What is it that you want us to know? I am listening for you now. It couldn't work out. Okay, a little bit of self-doubt came into me. Doesn't mean it's not going to work out. It's a little bit of we have too many hurdles. Okay, so there's a sense of obstacles to overcome. It's going to be too hard. Nothing is too hard if two people really want to be together. So maybe we're just kind of looking at it as it's this really difficult situation. I have novelty. It's just too new to know. Okay. I have an artist. This person's too creative. This person is maybe trying to make a mark for themselves. They could be, I'm working on myself, my business. I'm doing my own thing. And maybe you want to be with somebody who has more security or more stability. Not that you don't believe in them, but they have a long ways to go to create the kind of lifestyle that you would like or they would like. So maybe somebody who's trying to pursue something like, I want to be a YouTuber and doing it full time, but not making enough money. Whereas they could be doing something else and bringing in more money. So it's a catch-22 with I want to do what I want. This love does have potential. Okay, so sometimes we have to look at it as maybe we don't have everything we want right from the beginning, but we love this person or we really like being with this person. Sometimes spirit does put obstacles in our way. Sometimes we struggle with, am I right with the right person? Let's see what the cards are saying for you today. Spirit, what do you want me to know about this connection? I have a Justice card. I have a Six of Cups. I have a Four of Cups. And I have a Five of Swords. It's a feeling to me of, I feel like we're supposed to be together, but at the same time, why is it so hard? Okay, there's a sense of, how come it just can't be easier? And it could be some kind of situation that you're in. But I am going to go with we're supposed to be together or we're meant to be. And we both feel that way. So can we override the obstacles? Can we not procrastinate on our future? Can we take action to move things forward in some way, Spirit? I have an 8 of Wands. Something is changing, a sudden shift, okay? You've got something that's going to happen. Maybe you've been kind of holding out for a change, and you are waiting for somebody to make a decision or make a move or decide that, yeah, you're right. Maybe I can do two things at once and work on my business at home and work somewhere else. I feel like it's connected to finances, that this person is, it could be like, I'm a struggling artist, I'm a struggling musician, and they are just diehard that's all they want to do, but they don't have enough work yet. It doesn't mean that they won't, but I feel like they just don't have enough business yet. I have a Sun. I do feel like this is a sudden shift, okay? So Are you meant to be together? I'm going to say you are, but you are going to have to overcome something together. Okay. You are going to have to put your heads together and make it work. And that's that's the real test, Spirit's saying. The test is, how can we make this work? Or I want to make this work. I have a Seven of Swords in reverse. And for those of you that follow me, you know that I don't normally read in reverse. So this is just got shuffled in here in reverse. So I'm going to go with this person is not deceiving you. Okay. They're not holding anything back right now. Everything, they're kind of like on the up and up. So that is not a reason to abandon this connection. You don't have deceit. I have a devil. So maybe your mind went there with, is this going to be good enough for me? Or am I going to get hurt? Or am I going to struggle? Is this all going to end? I don't feel like it's ending. I have a Two of Swords and I have a Nine of Wands. So I do feel like I have to work at this. I do. I feel like we have to make up our minds that we both want to be in, and something has to shift just enough to make it work. Okay. I'm not asking for a major change in life. I'm not asking for somebody to, change who they are. I'm just asking them to kind of meet me halfway. Spirit, please share with me. I have moving in together. So that could be, I want to live with you, but maybe one of us needs more stability. They need to show more income on the applicant this out together and make it work. So it's some kind of obstacle that we have to overcome. Releasing, I'm writing it down. This feels like I'm just making lists of things that I would have to do to make something happen. I'm trying to be open. I'm not trying to push this person away, although there's a part of me that says, should I push this person away? Is this ever going to be enough? Is this person showing up in their own life? Okay, so you could be disappointed that they're not doing enough in their own life. So therefore, how can they possibly give you more or be there more for you? Not counting money, but just be there for you. So you could be a little disappointed that I wish that they were challenging themselves or pushing themselves more in some way. So everybody goes at their own pace. You've got to kind of support them at whatever it is that they're working on. Healthy choices, as long as they're making a healthy choice, as long as they're not hurting themselves. It could be just they're just trying to find their own path, and you are part of coming into their life when they're kind of working through something. And it could be, what do I want to be when I grow up? And they're struggling with that. They're changing careers. They're trying to find something that they'd be happy with. They've tried different jobs and they're not happy with those jobs because something else is calling them. I have an Empress. I have a Death card. I have an Eight of Cups. And I have a Five of Cups. It came into me as you do have a choice to walk away at any point, but I don't feel like that's something that you really want to do. I feel like you just want it to be easier. Okay. It's a sense of, can we make some changes to make this easier on both of us so we can get to where we want to be? Maybe a lot of the weight is on your shoulders. Maybe you're struggling with trying to do it all and you wish your person could, pull more weight, something like that. But I feel like I'm struggling with, am I putting too much energy into not what they're doing, but what they're not doing for you? So that could be something that you want to take a look at, like they're not giving you enough or scarcity or something. And is that within you or is that coming from them? I have a Two of Pentacles. I have to decide. It's connecting around money, unfortunately, this connection. It could be one of you is very stable and the other one is struggling with, I feel like they're trying to find themselves and like, who do I want to be when I grow up? The good news is I do feel like I have some good luck coming that is going to affect this connection. It could be a job opportunity. It could be a new door opening for your person. It could be their business or their career takes off. And that's kind of what we've been hoping for. I'm going to say hang in there. Try to support your person as best you can. Let them support you if they are, giving there for you for other reasons. Let's get some initials. Maybe we'll get a confirmation as to what it is that they have for you. The letter L, first initial, last initial, LA. Do I need to go to LA? Is something happening in Los Angeles? I have a D. I have an R. I have a D. I have another D. I have a U. I have an F. Y. R. X. E. S. I have a T. And I have an N. Part of me feels like, I'm going to go with this. We're supposed to be together. But why can't it be easier? I just want it to be easier. There's a sense of, how come it's been so hard lately? Doesn't mean it's going to be hard all the time. I think that that's what I want you to remember. They are saying that you have a sudden shift is happening. And I'm going to say, how do I want to say it? Better things to come or good news ahead. Okay. So maybe we're just both kind of waiting for something to happen, and then that happens and things get a little bit easier on us. Sometimes we're at different stages. One person feels really stable and the other one's working on something, and then it switches. So we do go back and forth sometimes with relationships along those lines. I have a Sagittarius, a wanderer, free spirit, living life on life's term. You could be struggling with it. You like to know where you stand in your future and future plans. Everything always works out somehow, and they're kind of like flying by the seat of their pants. And you're like, no, not everything always works out. You got to kind of make it happen. I have a solar flash. I have a dimensional shift. I have an uplifting, a rising above. I like that. I do have a Pisces energy here. I do believe in this connection. I do believe that Spirit brought us together. There's just this incredible sense of I wish it was easier. I have an explorer. I think you have a gypsy explorer. I feel like you have this free spirit, and it's hard to tame this free spirit. It's hard to make this person kind of be part of a mold, and this person isn't going to be part of the mold, but Spirit's trying to remind you that's what you fell in love with them to begin with. And you've got to kind of remember that, like what you were attracted to this person because they were kind of this wandering soul and they weren't like everybody else. I have an opportunity coming, and let things unfold. I do feel like that's exactly what's going to happen. This person doesn't worry as much as you do, and that probably bothers you. It's like, if they worried half as much as I did, but they always have this kind of attitude of everything always kind of, works out, or everything's going to be okay. Spirit, what are their intentions like? So maybe they're learning from you that, they should do more planning, or they should have more of a life plan or a life path, that they've got to make some decisions about their own future, something like that. I have a lot of things on my mind. So, they're a wandering soul. They have a free spirit, and they like to have their hands in a lot of different things. They're probably a very creative person, and they don't want to be tied down, and that they struggle with that. They like to try different things, and they could really, really struggle with things like a 9-to-5 job in the same building every day. That could be something they really have had a hard time with. You fulfill my soul. So you are good for this person. I think that's good. I'm sorry. I really do like you. I'm sorry I can't be the person that you want to be, or I can't fit the mold that you want me to be in. But I do feel like you fell in love with this person when you knew that they were a little bit different than everybody else. And I don't know, did you change your mind, or now that you're in it, you are realizing like this might be difficult in the long run? I'm waiting to align with you. So I would say that this person's trying to figure out who they are. They're trying to find their mission, Spirit just said, and their purpose. And I feel like they're really just adamant that they've got to do that. They've got to figure out what is it that they're meant to be doing. And I just feel like they can't move forward without knowing. So in the meantime, I'm going to say that some of the obstacles are going to be removed. I do have some good news coming around this person that may help both of you to have less worry or less stress. Hang in there, because I do feel like we're supposed to be together and we're meant to be together. So I don't want to walk away from that. I want to make this work. I want to thank Spirit for these messages today. I want to thank you for being here. If you're new to my channel, please remember to hit that like and subscribe button. Thank you always for your kind words and your comments. If you'd like to book a private reading with me, please visit my website, KathyMamolinsPsychicMedium.com.